in need of help, my information will be there. And so that's our way of trying to reach out to people and saying, hey, if you need help, you're having similar gigs, contact Bill Dean, and we will get you help.
Well, people that want to wait till the movie rolls, that'll be another year, 18 months. Go ahead and do that now while we're actually at the crossroads, while it's fresh in my mind. Go ahead.
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, Jim.
I said go ahead and give the contact information for out now, because I don't want people to wait.
Oh, sure. Thank you, brother. Yeah, for anyone who's out there and might be in need of prayer or deliverance, or you'd like to purchase copies of my books, Dark Force Are Delivered, please visit www.billbean.net and www.billbean104.com. Either site, you can email me directly from either site. I answer every single message. As Jim had mentioned, I'm up very late every night answering messages from people from all walks of life, from everywhere, even different parts of the world. So it's a wonderful blessing. I'm in service to God, therefore I'm in service to my fellow man. And please, if you're having problems, I urge you to contact me, and we can get you some help.
There you go. And I'll post that all on the blog after the show with the podcast, so if you're listening to the podcast, you can find it there too as well. So it's
just amazing, Jim. It really is. It's a classic example of how God can take something that was so horrific, so bad, and it was horrific, and my family was destroyed by evil, and yet God could turn that around for the good now, and He has worked through me to repair many people's lives, to build them back up. And people from, you would be shocked. Police captains, people like this, I could go on and on and on. Some very important people have contacted me. And again, I'm grateful to God for having me to be in this position to help. But you would be shocked at the amount of people and the different types of people who contact me for deliverance.
Well, everybody is a spiritual person. How do I want to word that? Everybody's a spiritual being. There we go. I don't want to say a spiritual person because that didn't sound the way I wanted to come out. But,
no, you're right. You're absolutely right. And again, I'm not coming off as a Bible thumper or a holy roller. I am very well read, I'll tell you that. And this is another miraculous part of my transformation. When I have an 8th grade education, and it's because my mom had died when I was very young. And 2 tragedies occurred. It was long after moving out of the house in 1980 that 2 tragedies did occur. First, my beloved grandmother, Dora Harvey, suddenly died from a sudden series of heart attacks. And then 2 months and 2 days later, my beloved mother, Patricia Bean, died from a cerebral hemorrhage at the age of 44. So those were the 2 closest people to me in my life. They were suddenly gone, and I lied about my age, stopped going to school, and I went to work for a construction company. So that said, I could have very easily have just left it at that. Well, I'm uneducated, and I don't aspire to be anything in life, and I'll just stay at this level, and I'll either work hard or I'll be very bitter, and I'll try and cause as much bitterness and pain for as many people as I possibly can. And I might end up in prison, or I might end up dead. I could have very easily have taken those roads, let me tell you. And through all that, I finally made a choice to say I'm better than that, I can be better than that, I can do better than that, and I can also be more educated than that. And that's exactly what I did. And again, I give God the praise and thanks for leading me out of that and for helping me to broaden my knowledge. And, I'm happy to tell you now, where I was ashamed to say that I have an 8th grade education, I'm very happy to tell you that I'm a very educated man. And I have intelligence far beyond anything that I could ever imagine in my life. And again, God gets the glory for that. But this is why I say to people, knowledge is power. The more you increase your knowledge, the more powerful you can become, the better you can become. And it's all about trying to be the best that you can be, no matter what that is. And, once you find your purpose in life, then you just focus on that as your goal, and you just continue to move forward, and you cannot allow anything to stop you.
It's true. You gotta take what you can get, but you gotta help yourself. You can't wait for someone to give everything to you either.
That's exactly right. You've got to have the drive. You've got to have the ability to not only make the choice, but thought has to be involved, but also the action has to go hand in hand with it.
My guest tonight is Bill Bean. I asked on my fan page before the show, probably half an hour before the show. I try to get people thinking about the show and interacting and stuff. And I asked, what drives Bill Bean? Because I know you've done, it says on your site, over 800 interviews. I'm sure that number's outdated by now. But,
oh, yeah, it's probably over 1,000 now.
So that was my question. What drives Bill Bean? And surprisingly, nobody gave me a comment. So what drives Bill Bean to keep getting up after a few hours of sleep?
What drives me each and every day is the pursuit of helping other people to be free. And again, this process is every day now with people that come to me for help. Just before I got on the show, I was just talking, again, like I mentioned, I was on the phone with a family from Chicago, and they're having some serious problems there, and I was just ministering and counseling to them. And they're going to be flying me out to Chicago in the very near future to perform deliverance out there. And I've been so many places over the last several months around the country doing this because there are so many people in need. And when people see that there is hope, and they want that. Everybody wants that. Everybody wants a better life, and everybody wants to be free from all this negativity and things that are holding them back in life. So that's where I'm at now. You know, this person's telling that person, and that person's telling that person. So I think the word of mouth is really, that's why I think it's increased here, because people are recommending me to other people, and now it's just, it's exploding. But that's what drives me, to help people to become the best that they can be and to be out of the darkness and in God's light.
Yeah, I was going to say, once it starts to take off, it seems always to grow. So I guess that's a good thing. I mean,
yes, it is. It is a good thing. It's a wonderful thing. There's nothing better than not only seeing the transformation take place before my very eyes, but you get messages back from people a couple months later. Now, I follow up with these people on a regular basis, but to get messages back like 2-3 months later saying everything is great, I'm doing so well. Things are just, these people think they have a black cloud over their heads because everything always goes wrong. And now, once they have that transformation take place, now all of a sudden everything is going right, and everything is good, and they're happy, and they're moving forward, and it's just one way or the other. When we get into patterns, good things attract to that if we're in a good, positive pattern, and if it's a negative pattern, unfortunately, negativity draws negativity, and that snowballs. And this is how demonic forces gain in power. They gain in power from all of the negativity that's taking place, whether it's fear or anger or confusion or anything negative. Anything negative, these demonic forces feed off of, and that is how they gain in power. So it's very, very important to always try and stay positive. Try and keep light inside of you. Fill yourself with good things of God's light and not darkness. Because when we fill ourselves with darkness, guess what's going to come back out? Darkness.
Yeah, it's what you put out, what you get back. Some people call it karma, some people, whatever you want to call it. It's all the same thing, no matter what you call it.
Absolutely right. You're absolutely right, Jim.
Okay, so I know the movie's going on. You're writing another book, right? Did I hear you say that?
The third book that I'm writing is called 10 Steps to Victory, and that is pretty much about what we're talking about right now, empowering people, letting people know that we do have power. It's God's power that is within us. So when we can activate that, and when we make a choice to activate that, our lives will suddenly change for the better, and it's part of our transformation process. And so I hope to, I'll continue with that message, believe me, for as long as I'm on this earth, and I certainly hope that it resonates enough to where it affects thousands and then hopefully millions.
Now, when that's done, you just shoot me a message, and I'll get you on in 6 months because I'm so booked up behind.
That's right. We're going to be, hey, I look forward to coming back. I can't wait. We've always, there's always new information to talk about, and we're just scratching the surface with a lot of things here, and
I was the goal to kind of just put all the stuff. Well, I don't want to put all the stuff on the table because that'd take hours. But just put, let you see the menu. I guess is the way I should coin that right now.
That's exactly right. And I'm just thankful that there are people out there that really see this and they say, "Wow, I was listening to your interview and it just really touched me, and I saw you somewhere and saw you speak, or you were giving a lecture here or there or whatever, and it really resonated with me." And that's it's a wonderful thing when you know that you've made a positive connection with someone, because every man's life touches another in some way, and we always hope that it's in a positive way.
So I've got a question here. I'm trying to read it so I can get it right. What do you think? What do you say to all the people out there that are doing paranormal hunts that is not God's work, not doing it in that light, just doing it to try to learn about the other side or whatever, however they want to put that forward? What do you think about that?
Well, I just say be careful, because literally it's like swimming with the sharks. You don't know what is there, and if something manifests, it's like a little boy or a little girl or something like that. It might not be a little boy or a little girl. It could be a demon in disguise. You've got to be very, very careful, because once a person is exposed to this kind of stuff and an attachment takes place, there's going to be a real battle after that. And that person, becomes marked. And it's again, it is a real battle to become free. And then once the person is free, they've got to be very careful for the rest of their lives, to not open doorways back up to attract that stuff again. So my best advice there would be just, I don't condemn anybody for anything they do, but, my best advice would be to be very, very careful.
Yeah, sound advice, too. I mean, you can't be spiritually weak in any, I hate going here, but believe in what you believe in, whatever it may be. But don't be...
Yeah.
There. I guess I got that
cleared
up pretty quick.
It's very difficult and very dangerous, I'll say. It's a very dangerous thing. It's not a game, that's for sure.
And the follow-up, I guess, this came falling in here is, do you think a whole group of, like, a team name can be marked by a demon, or is it the person?
Oh, no, a whole group could be. Again, if people go into something that they have no idea what they've gone into, these people could be instantly oppressed, and then they take that, demon or demons home with them, and guess what happens? The whole family becomes affected, and everyone around that person becomes affected. I call it a spiritual virus. And before you know it, everything's in chaos, and everybody's trying to figure out what is going on, why is all this happening, and that's exactly what happened. So one must be very, very careful.
Sage advice for any, like I said. It doesn't matter what you believe, just you got to believe it. That's the bottom line. I don't want to offend anybody, but there you are. I probably did anyway, so. Can't make everybody happy all the time, Jim, so just keep going.
Hey, you said it well, and you said it right, and it's about loving and respecting everybody, which I have great love and respect for everyone, and I don't judge anyone, and I just try to be something to somebody each and every day.
So I'm reading down this list of appearances on TV and radio. Which one? If you could go back and say, well, I don't want to say delete it, but there was a moment that you said something, or she just really sticks out in all of these. Is there a moment? I'm sure there's a moment. Anything?
What, in a bad way?
Yeah. Something you just kind of, I mean, you don't have to give very specifics, but I guess I'm just kind of asking a long-winded question for a yes answer. But.
Yeah. Well, I have an answer for that. In 2008, my wife and I got baptized, and as a child, my family didn't have any religious structure. My parents believed in God, but we'd never once attended church as children. We didn't read the Bible, and we were never baptized or anything like that. So my wife and I got baptized together in December of 2008. Great, wonderful, blessed experience. We decided to make God first in our life. It was the greatest decision and the best decision that we ever made. We've been abundantly blessed since. Now, and I don't have any of those experiences anymore either, and I praise God for that. I would never, knowing what I know now and having the power I have now, which is God's power that is within me, I would never have that garbage in my life ever again because I could take power and authority over it.